how's it being derived, and what is last month. And also, you would want to explain why there might be some major differences between monthly average and last month. All right. Then there's overtime. Overtime is always a big controversial subject. There's a lot of different types of employment that is overtime, and nobody ever wants the overtime figured into their child support calculation. So, remarkably, a lot of times, if people have a child support hearing coming up somewhere on the horizon in the future, they suddenly are not working their overtime. And that's why monthly average could be influential to the court on what child support should be. Now, touching on the overtime issue, all right, sometimes it's not fair. It's just not fair to the payer of child support to have the overtime figured into the base child support. The base child support, which is figured on the DissoMaster form. Okay, so what we can do in those situations is we put the base number of child support into the DissoMaster, and then we do a separate schedule for overtime income. All right, so if there's no overtime, you're not paying child support on it. If there is overtime, there's a separate schedule that say what percentage of the overtime, of the gross overtime pay, should be remitted to the other spouse or the other parent. Okay, so a detailed discussion on bonus tables and overtime tables and DissoMaster calculations would be for a separate discussion and video. This is just a general overview on the inputs and the form information for child support. Okay, so then if we move down, so there's a lot of information you could put on 5, but that's mostly having to do with W-2 income, which is a statutory employee getting a paycheck. Then comes investment income. Investment income is very important because there's a lot of people, especially here in Los Angeles, that make their money and get paid in part or in whole on a form K1.